movie's synopsis states, inspired by true events. However, there's a distinction between being inspired by and being true to. It's unrealistic to expect any movie to perfectly depict real events. Occasionally, a film may adhere closely to historical facts but take liberties with the narrative. It's fair to acknowledge that some movies strive for greater accuracy than others. Here are 10 movies that effectively strive for accuracy in portraying the true events they're based on. Director Danny Boyle delivered a gritty portrayal of the story of Aron Ralston, who found himself trapped alone between a large rock and canyon wall. With no way out, he spends over 127 hours grappling with his life physically and psychologically. It's a scene that's incredibly difficult to watch. The film stayed faithful to the real-life events, capturing Ralston's psychological battle and his desperate struggle accurately. Ralston himself has praised the movie, stating that it is so factually accurate that it resembles a documentary while still being a drama. During the late 1960s and early 1970s, the San Francisco Bay Area was terrorized by a serial killer known as the Zodiac Killer, who managed to evade capture. Journalist Robert Graysmith, portrayed by Jake Gyllenhaal, became deeply engrossed in the case. In 1986, he penned a book bearing the same title as the film. Drawing from extensive research and interviews, the filmmakers diligently combed through case materials, striving for authenticity in their depiction of events. And they succeeded admirably. The resulting film not only stayed faithful to the story, but also proved to be exceptionally well made. Robert Downey Jr. portrayed Paul Avery, a journalist renowned for his coverage of the case. Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman portray Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, the tenacious Washington Post journalists instrumental in uncovering the truth behind the Nixon White House's involvement in the Watergate conspiracy. Both actors spent time with Woodward and Bernstein for research purposes, while director Alan J. Pakula was adamant about faithfully representing the newsroom environment where the reporters operated. When it comes to accuracy, don't rely on the 1997 film Titanic. Instead, A Night to Remember is widely recognized as the most faithful portrayal of the Titanic disaster. Firstly, it's based on a historian's thorough investigation into the sinking of the Titanic in 1912. Secondly, the filmmakers carefully selected actors who closely resembled the real passengers. Thirdly, they painstakingly recreated the ship's interiors with great attention to detail. While some dramatic liberties were taken, the movie generally stays true to the facts. Director Ron Howard breathed life into the tale of the ill-fated 1970 lunar mission, Apollo 13. Astronaut Dave Scott has publicly praised the film, stating that it serves as a reliable source of accurate information. In fact, Scott provided guidance to Howard during the making of the movie. Howard meticulously examined video footage and transcripts to ensure as much accuracy as possible on screen. Naturally, Howard included some dramatic elements that didn't occur in reality. However, many aspects of the film, including the appearance of the spacecraft and even some dialogue, are directly inspired by real events. Frank Abagnale's name is etched in the annals of crime as one of its most legendary figures. He possessed a multitude of talents, adept at cons, forgery, and assuming false identities. Whether donning a pilot's uniform to co-pilot a plane for Pan Am or posing as a resident in a hospital, a lawyer, or even a college sociology professor, he seamlessly navigated various roles despite lacking the necessary expertise. Based on Abagnale's eponymous book and featuring Leonardo DiCaprio, the film remains faithful to the source material, capturing the mischievous essence of a true con artist. It follows Abagnale's journey from life on the run to establishing his own security firm aimed at protecting institutions from individuals like himself. In another film centered on investigative journalism, director Tom McCarthy delves into the Boston Globe's relentless pursuit of uncovering the Catholic Church's widespread concealment of sexual abuse by priests. The movie primarily focuses on the investigative process itself. While it takes some liberties in certain areas, the overall trajectory of the investigation and the interactions among editor Walter Robinson, played by Michael Keaton, and his team of reporters resonate with authenticity. Mirroring the real-life investigation, a breakthrough moment occurs when a researcher suggests expanding the scope beyond the initially targeted 20 or 30 priests to a significantly higher number of potential abusers. A former Globe reporter remarked, "It gets a lot right." At times, watching The Grey Zone can be emotionally challenging. The film depicts the harrowing experiences of the Sonderkommandos, Jewish prisoners tasked with retrieving bodies from the gas chambers at Auschwitz during World War II. Roger Ebert remarked, "I have seen many Holocaust films, but none have felt as immediate, unflinching, and poignant as this one." While some have criticized the film's more graphic scenes, they offer a fairly accurate depiction of the atrocities committed. The realism portrayed in the film can be difficult to endure, yet it adds to the authenticity of the story. The story of Solomon Northup, a free black man from New York who is kidnapped and forced into slavery, is a riveting account of resilience and survival in the face of extraordinary adversity. Adapted from Northup's 1853 autobiography, the film faithfully captures the essence of his narrative, skimming over mundane details of cotton farming to focus on the core of his journey. Moreover, it offers a broader perspective, depicting the true horrors of slavery in the Old South, including its brutality and inhumanity. In this way, the film maintains accuracy both in portraying Northup's personal experience and in presenting a historically informed depiction of slavery. Selma received an A from The Guardian for its historical accuracy. The film chronicles the events surrounding Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the 1965 Selma to Montgomery Civil Rights March in Alabama, as well as the complex relationship between King and President Lyndon B. Johnson. While King advocates for voting rights, Johnson focuses on combating poverty. The movie accurately portrays the historical details of the march, and Tom Wilkerson's portrayal of Johnson is so convincing that it's almost eerie. Similar to 12 Years a Slave, Selma not only provides a faithful retelling of the story, but also presents a well-researched depiction of historical events.